This might be the most shocking Falcons rumor of the year. One phone call, one wild trade idea, and suddenly the future of Kyle Pitts and Kirk Cousins is up in the air. The drama is heating up, Falcons fans, and it's not just smoke. Rumors are flying. Trades are being whispered behind closed doors, and everything we thought we knew about this roster could be flipped upside down. Are the Falcons about to make a franchise-shaking move? Buckle up, Dirty Birds, because this story is about to take a turn no one saw coming. All right, Dirty Bird Nation, let's talk about what's going on, because it's getting wild in Atlanta. Now, I know a lot of you are sick of hearing about Kirk Cousins, and believe me, I get it. But when ESPN starts talking trade rumors involving Kirk Cousins and Kyle Pitts in the same sentence, you know we have to talk about it. So here's what just happened. According to NFL insider Ian Rappaport, the Pittsburgh Steelers actually called the Falcons and asked the big question, what would it take to get Kyle Pitts? Yeah, you heard that right. The Steelers sniffing around trying to steal one of our most talented players. And look, let's clear the air. The Falcons have said over and over again they don't want to trade Kyle Pitts. They want him to be a part of the future. But in the NFL, if the right offer shows up, phone calls get answered. That's just the business. Now let's talk truth. Has Kyle Pitts lived up to the hype of being the number 4 overall pick? But has he had anything close to a stable quarterback situation? Also, no. Pitts has been catching passes from backup-level QBs for most of his career, and now, finally, there's a chance to see what he can do with someone like Michael Penix Jr. Penix didn't start early last season, but when he did play, we saw flashes of brilliance. Yeah, he had rookie mistakes. So did every rookie quarterback last year. But now it's year 2, and if you're a young QB trying to grow, guess what you need? A go-to weapon, a reliable target, a safety blanket. That's what Kyle Pitts can be. Now, I'll be real with you. His last 3 games, they were rough. Not going to sugarcoat it, but talent doesn't disappear. And if Pitts starts clicking with Penix, we might finally see the breakout season we've all been waiting for. So before we talk trades or contracts or anything else, let's just let the man play football. Give it time. Let it unfold. But hey, maybe you see it differently. Do you think the Falcons should ride it out with Pitts or cash in now if the offer's good? Drop your take in the comments. I want to hear what you think. All right, let's be real here. If I had to choose between Kirk Cousins or Kenny Pickett as a backup, I'm taking Kirk every single time. No hesitation, no debate. Kirk's not perfect, but he's steady. Pickett? That man has been more hype than production since day one. And what the Browns are doing right now is, honestly, it's crazy. First, they trade for Pickett. Then they go out and sign Joe Flacco, and on top of that, they draft 2 more quarterbacks. Oh, and by the way, Deshaun Watson is still sitting there with a massive contract. It's a full-blown circus in Cleveland. Too many quarterbacks, not enough answers. Good luck figuring that mess out. But let's swing this back to Atlanta, where things are a little more serious. Let's say the Falcons do decide to trade Kirk Cousins. What would that even look like? Well, here's one idea I actually kind of like. Send him back to Minnesota. Yup, back home, where it all started. The Vikings just drafted J.J. McCarthy, so Kirk wouldn't be the starter. But as a veteran backup, as a mentor, that could be a perfect fit. And the trade package? Pretty simple. Minnesota sends Atlanta a 2026 fifth-round pick, a 2027 seventh-rounder, and some cash to sweeten the deal. That's honestly a win for both sides. The Vikings get a leader in the locker room. The Falcons clear space in the quarterback room and get back some much-needed draft capital. Remember, we already gave up our 2026 first-round pick to go get James Pierce Jr., so any extra picks we can gather are valuable. Atlanta's trying to build for the future, and every extra draft chip counts. If we can move Kirk and stack more picks, I'm all in. And speaking of stacking up, there's another trade idea floating around with Minnesota. This time the name is Sam Howell. According to ESPN, the Falcons would ship out Cousins and in return get Sam Howell plus a little cash. Now look, Howell's not going to light up the scoreboard, but as a backup quarterback, he's decent, he's reliable. He's not elite, but he's not garbage either. Somewhere right in the middle. and I'd definitely take him over guys like Mac Jones or Easton Stick any day of the week. But let's be honest here, no team is bringing in Kirk Cousins right now to be their starter. That ship has sailed. These trade talks? They're all about backup plans, depth, and experience. Maybe the Vikings are doing it for sentimental reasons. Give Kirk a respectful send-off, let him retire where he made his name. And honestly, that's fine. Because if it gets the Falcons more picks, clears the QB room, and lets Michael Penix Jr. lead this team without distractions, then it's the right move. But what do you think, Dirty Birds? Should the Falcons ship Kirk back to Minnesota, or hold on to him as a veteran presence behind Penix? Let me know your take in the comments. I want to hear what real fans think. At the end of the day, everything comes down to one thing. Kirk Cousins holds all the cards. He's got a no-trade clause. That means if the Falcons want to move him, he has to agree. He has to say yes. And let's be real. Kirk still believes he's a starting quarterback in this league. He's not ready to ride the bench and fade into the background. But here's the cold truth. NFL teams aren't lining up for him anymore. Not after that major injury, not at this age, and definitely not for another multi-year contract. Teams want youth, speed, upside, not a veteran with question marks around his health and future. So as much as Kirk might want to start, he may not get that chance. The end is near, and he has to see it. This might be the final chapter of his starting career. So here we are, asking that same question for what feels like the millionth time. Where will Kirk Cousins play in 2025? Drop your answer in the comments right now, because this could go either way. But here's my prediction. Kirk stays in Atlanta. Week 1, I think he's still on this roster. Not because he's the starter, but because there just isn't a market for him. Unless something crazy happens, like an injury to a starter on another team, I just don't see anyone making a big move for him. The only other team that makes a little sense? Minnesota. There's a small emotional pull there. It's home. He's comfortable. Maybe he goes back to be the wise vet behind J.J. McCarthy, but even that's a stretch. And let's be honest, for the Falcons, it's not a bad thing to have Kirk around. Michael Penix Jr. is still developing. Having a seasoned vet in the room could help, as long as it doesn't cause any distractions or drama. Now, yeah, if Penix goes down with an injury, then it's a different story. Kirk instantly becomes valuable again. That's the wild card. That's the break glass in case of emergency scenario that could lead to a trade. So shout out to that smart point. If a team loses their starter mid-season and needs help fast, maybe they come calling. That's the one path I see. But until then, Kirk Cousins is probably staying right here in Atlanta. Now it's your turn. Should the Falcons keep Kirk as the backup, or is it time to cut ties and fully turn the page to Penix Jr.? Let me know in the comments and drop your confidence rating for the Falcons quarterback room from 1 to 10.